Thank you for joining us from wherever you are. Let's begin this afternoon from here. And some personnel of the Nation Builders Corps program, NABCO, early today poured onto the streets of Accra in protest against non-payment of their stipends by government. The beneficiaries say their stipends have been in arrears since September last year. Several assurances to them by authorities to pay them these allowances have not yielded any results. The trainees, we know, have been agitating over their stipends and also the non-absorbance into the government system for some time now. We know NABCO was launched sometime in 2018, but has since been dogged with a number of challenges, key among which include the agitation over allowances, which we understand now have been in arrears since September last year. Let's now listen to some of the beneficiaries who poured onto the streets this morning in protest against the non-payment of these allowances and exactly what they've been saying.
We are here to demand answers to simple questions from government. Hey, phone. These questions are not directed to labor experts, policy think tanks. You will know that it will be ridiculous. It will be so taunting and sarcastic that after 4 years in university, 1 year national service, 3 solid years of our workaholism in the corporate environment, a labor expert will mount a platform and assert that NABCO trainees do not have the experience to be recruited. We should be sensitive to humanity. We should see humanity paramount over politics. We should see humanity paramount over petty politics and mischievous politics and shoddy politics. You employ a youth. What was the essence, the paramount objective of the NABCO initiative? It was for immediate emergency survival of the youth. We assumed that the youth, they were handicapped. They were ideal. Some of them, they formed unemployed graduate association. Why? On the account of extreme privation and hunger. And they've worked for 12 solid months. You didn't pay them. As a communicator, so insensitive, you mount a platform, and all what you are saying is NABCO, they are better off than elsewhere government.
They are owing me 8 months, and there are other people who have arrested for more than 8 months. Yes, so far.
Where were you posted and how was the experience like?
I was posted to Ghana Post. They should employ us permanently and then pay us on time. You know, we have responsibilities. When you are working and your money is not coming, Charlie, you understand. So they should make us permanent and pay us our arrears. You can't believe I have arrears of, I think, June or July. Charlie, can you believe that? No.
The institution that I'm working with right now, if there is no employment or if there's no vacancy, then you shouldn't recruit outsiders, okay? Because we already have the skills. The people who, normally we are the people who train them.
So you heard there's some of the NABCO trainees who poured onto the streets early this morning in protest against non-payment of their allowances. We're crossing over now to speak to my colleague, Lord Edwasare, who's been following the protesters.
Went through asylum down through Adabraka before eventually converging here. They were addressed by their coordinator or the patron who wanted their grievances to be heard. Among other things, they say that arrears haven't been paid, and despite the several months or years in working for NABCO in the various sectors, they haven't been paid, and some of them have even been laid off and haven't gotten work to do. With me are some of these trainees, and they'll be telling me what their personal experiences are and essentially what their grievances are. Now, good afternoon, welcome to TVD. What's your name?
I'm Amajoa.
Amajoa, what's the issue? You have your NABCO trainees also matter. Why do you think it do not matter?
Because we've not been receiving our salary for the past 11 months now, and we are hungry. Yeah, we are hungry.
You haven't received your salary for the past 7 months?
No, please. For the Hill Ghana, it's 11 months. That's the health sectors. Hill Ghana, we've not been receiving our salary for 11 months. 11.
Now, you here, you have sewn a very nice jacket. It means you're proud of NABCO, no?
Oh, at least it gave me work when I wasn't doing any job. So at least I'm grateful for that. That at least they've brought in employment for the youth. But at least as at now, we don't even know if you are being going to sustain into the system. Because after the things, the career pathway they made us do online, we don't really know where we are heading towards. And from the news I heard, they are saying that some of us don't qualify. We, the Hill Ghana, some of us don't qualify to be an Hill Ghana. Some of us don't have licensure pin and a whole lot. So if that is what they are saying, all I'm pleading with them is that they should pay us our money due us, so that we are not qualified, we will decline ourselves out of the scheme. Because as it is now, we are suffering.
I mean, tell me, you were there was a bit of back and forth between you and the regional coordinator. What was that all about?
Yeah, the regional coordinator, we tried telling the regional coordinator with the health, they've not paid us. And he was challenging that they've paid us, and even the health people, they've absorbed them at the health sector. But those that were recruited at the health sector paid. Some paid 6,000, 7,000 before they were recruited. Some of us, we those who don't have money, is those who have left. And they said because we don't have PIN, that is why our money hasn't come. But a PIN like this, I have my own. Even the card is with me here. This is my licensure card. I'm not under Nurses and Midwifery Council. So if you go to Nurses and Midwifery Council, you will not find my name there. I'm under Allied Health Professional Council. So with the health, we are divided. We have Nurses and Midwifery and Allied Health. So unless you go to Allied Health, before you will see my name, I've not been paid since last year March, up to date, almost 1 year.
Since last year March, does that mean that even during the Christmas,
they did not pay us, nothing. And even this recently 2 months, they gave us messages on Thursday that they will pay us on Friday, but the Friday, they did not pay us.
How about you? What has been your experience?
In fact, it's very, very an eyesore to explain my feelings right now. Hill Ghana, and yes, I've been paid only January, February, March 2021, and that's it. Beginning, they were like MOH has brought to their notice that all Hill Ghana trainees has been absorbed. But those who were absorbed were the nurses who went to the government hospitals and MOH employed them. We, those who came from the private schools, we are still in the scheme working without payment. Initially, they are like, we don't qualify. I have my licensure pin here. That I search for my licensure. I have a pin that I'm supposed to work with. So I don't understand if they say we are not qualified.
So those were some of the grievances by some NABCO trainees. The people I've been speaking with have been working with Hill Ghana, one of the sectors under the NABCO. Essentially, what they want is that they want them to be integrated into the system because as it stands now, they've garnered enough experience. Some have been with the institution for the past 3 years and all that, and they've still not been integrated into the employment sector. They are pleading that their arrears be paid, one, and that they should be given permanent jobs so that they will know exactly what their future lies as far as this is concerned. For TV3 News, Ladido Asari.
And so what is the reaction from the authorities with respect to some of the claims that are being made by the trainees? Some have not been paid as long as 11 months. The NABCO Regional Coordinator Alhaji Baba has been addressing the trainees who submitted a petition to them a short time ago.
You're telling me that somebody did or somebody did the peculiar problems you are citing.
With the exception of the last 2 months, which is September, October. Anybody who has not been paid the September, September, October means that he has a peculiar problem. That's what we are addressing currently. A lot of them have currently gotten employed, but they are refusing to decline from the system. And that is what we have not been paid. That is why this headcount is just to help resolve those problems. At least to the headcount will make sure that those who are actively working get paid in earnest.
But the question is, why is the headcount going on, especially for a day like this?
No, it is part of our roadmaps that we've designed, and so it just unfortunately that it coincided with their demonstration.
It's no victimization.
And no, please. We will not victimize anybody. We are colleagues with them, and therefore it is of their best interest. So that is why we are doing this. Once we are able to streamline the system, those who are currently gainfully employed are removed from the system, then payment will commence honestly, and then they will be paid.
Do you have a timeline for this headcount?
Yes, we've just started the headcount, and it's ongoing.
How long will it go?
As we speak, my monitors and my field regional monitors and district RTCs are in the field doing the headcount. Yesterday we were able to, we brought them together, but we've realized that it's giving us a lot of headache in managing the crowd. So we send messages to them that they should remain at post once we visit them and do the head count.
So you heard the responses from the NABCO official vis-a-vis the concerns raised by the NABCO trainees. In the course of time, we will subject some of these claims to some strict proof because per the account of the trainees, some of them have not been paid for as long as 11 months. Let's take a step away from NABCO. And the minority in Parliament is demanding the immediate suspension of what they describe as rapid and unplanned hikes in electricity tariffs. Ranking member on the committee, that's Mines and Energy, John Jinapo, observed that as the prices of petroleum products have gone up, government has taken no steps whatsoever to intervene, and that has worsened the financial burden on consumers.
Per barrel is part at $61. Today, crude oil is over $90. Ghana is a net exporter of crude oil. What it means is that we are making a windfall from this crude of over 50%. And so our position is simple. If you are making these huge revenues from our exports, it only makes sense that you use part of that money to cushion the ordinary consumer. This idea where, because of a mismanagement of the economy, leading to a deterioration of the currency, and passing same on to consumers is unacceptable. And so the minority is calling on government to ensure that it thinks outside the box, take pragmatic measures in order to ensure that we cushion consumers. And from all intents and purposes, it does appear that based on the geopolitical system, crude oil prices may be increasing. And when crude oil prices increases, Ghana benefits. So how come that a country that's a net exporter of crude oil and benefits from crude increments tend to punish the downside, which is the consumers, with all these astronomical taxes? That is why we are raising these issues.